Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Dramfool, number 63, Dustin, the Red Bag. What that means, I have no idea.
Is it like women paying for red-soled shoes and it's just really expensive?
Quite possibly. What I do know is this is an Ardbeg, 17 years old.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that old.
And I have an ABV for you, Dustin, 57.2% ABV.
And not very red. I was kind of expecting a sherry bomb.
When I heard Red Bag, I thought to myself, Dustin, first full share.
Yeah.
17 years old, and then I got the sample out of the bag, and I saw this, and I'm thinking bourbon cask maturation.
Well,
57% Dramfool, an independent bottler. We've had some Dramfools we liked. We had some Dramfools we didn't like. We probably brought the folks 3 or 4.
I've not had much Dramfool outside of stuff you brought, so...
Yeah, no, we did a couple of Port Charlottes, and we did a Bowmore that I wasn't a huge fan of. Actually, we got another one here recently, kind of a young Brooklady.
Have you cracked that one yet?
No, we haven't. We'll get to it, though.
Yeah, we need to. A gift from our buddy Mario.
Absolutely. But Dramfool, an independent bottler, started probably 4 or 5 years ago. Look them up. You guys, they've had some really good offerings, some really good sherry cask maturation drams, and some good, a lot of good Port Charlottes.
I definitely do get a bit of a red fruit, maybe a strawberry note. Then it sachets very quickly into a bit of a, I don't want to say chocolate-esque. It's chocolate adjacent.
Yeah, you're not getting the bourbon flavors that you think you would normally get.
I'm not getting Ardbeg though either.
I agree. I was going to say my first smell of it was not thinking Ardbeg, and we just had an Ardbeg to kind of acclimate ourselves, and this does not smell like Ardbeg.
Doesn't even come off super peated.
I agree.
Starting to wonder if we got the wrong whiskey in the glass. Hey, you know what? This will make for a great video.
It almost comes off like a Bowmore on the nose, kind of like that light smoke and like banana.
I don't get like the burnt plastic scene, but yeah.
I agree. I don't get that, but yeah, I get like a vanilla banana and like a little bit of smoke.
Well, let's ignore what it is and just get on the note here, which is actually a really nice kind of pastry, really rich. It's viscous, high proof. It's a very nice, maybe red cake or something, kind of note.
It is a buttery biscuit, a buttery roll note to it. It's dense, but you're right. There is a twinge of red something in it.
Yeah, the more I nose it, the less red I get. But the initial upfront arrival is definitely like a slight strawberry-esque kind of a thing.
Yeah, maybe even like a red velvet cake-ish type notes. It's that red note's kind of dessertish.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on here. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I'm still struggling with Ardbeg, but
Agreed. I get a light banana note here.
It's constantly changing as I nose it too. Like it gives me a little bit of fruit, then it gives me a little bit of like really like pastry, bakery. Then it gives me a hint of umami, not too much.
Yeah, a good vanilla note kind of interviewing in a few other flavors of this, but yeah, whether it's like the buttery biscuit or like a vanilla banana.
Man, I mean, I'm
along with a cherry almost, like a light cherry.
I'm gonna get some really nice little chocolate cake notes.
This was like maybe like red velvet cake or something, like with like chocolate fillings.
And I'm thinking maybe that's kind of what was bringing that red note that they're talking about, because it's more of like a chocolatey cake kind of thing. But yeah, red velvet chocolate cake, whatever. A little bit of lime notes, maybe harkening into that Ardbeg world.
It does not come off 57% ABV. I'll tell you that.
It's got enough heft and oomph that I believe the 57, but you're right. There's no like heavy alcohol notes either.
Yeah, a lot of rich flavors, but nothing over the top.
There's a depth to it, though, that it definitely makes me think there's higher proof in here. Beautiful, beautiful nose. I'm going to go in and taste this.
Yeah, I mean, the flavors are pretty straightforward, but rich and really well done.
Okay, we didn't grab the wrong sample. That is a heavy peat. Ooh. Oh, man, it's got like a sour pineapple note on the finish. Interesting. Now it's getting more like mineral, limestone, toast, a little bit of chocolate now. Very unique. Definitely doesn't come off super Ardbeg-like, but it is definitely a heavily peated whiskey. A little surprised with the 17-year age statement as well. Doesn't come off young or youthful, but 10, 12 I would have believed. 17's getting old enough where I would maybe expected a little more depth on the finish with some kind of oak notes. But then again, maybe some of those notes I brought up were oak. Really different.
Mouthfeel super creamy, silky. As soon as you swallow,
Really nice.
chalky darkness. It is almost like a chocolate cake sort of note to it.
There's definitely some pastry in there. It's not the initial arrival, but it's like the whole mid palate is some kind of pastry.
Some type of pastry.
And then the finish goes into again, more traditional Isla notes.
Yeah, I mean, but you're right. I don't get Ardbeg here at all.
No.
Man, that's rich. And it was a quick spike. That darkness was a quick swell and then gone.
I had water expecting the Ardbeg to pop out, and no, it's...
I didn't put water on mine.
No, I don't think you did. Yeah, it's giving me more of the pastry crust, maybe a little bit more saltiness, sea notes, but not super peated. It's peated as heck on the palate, though.
But not an Ardbeg smoker, Pete.
No, I mean
not really anything I can put my finger on.
Yeah,
either.
well, and I should be saying it's obviously a peated whiskey when you're nosing it. It's just Ardbeg. I expect more oomph. But I mean, it's not Kalila. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, that's what happens with single barrels.
Assuming this is. Usually all the Dramfools are, though.
Maybe it's a small batch of two, but I mean,
no, you're right, though. I'm guessing a problem. Usually all the Dramfools are single barrels.
I'm getting some vanilla icing now, heavy.
Wow, that's good.
A little bit of citrus. I mean, almost like a pineapple upside down cake kind of note comes through.
I mean, Dramfool is the color of their whiskey, and if it's 17 years in cask strength, this has to be a bourbon cask maturation.
I mean, it could have been like a heavily
Fifth fill.
refilled, something. I don't know.
And that is beautiful, though.
I really, really like what I'm getting on the nose with that drop of water. It went up 2 points for me on the nose. It's just nothing but vanilla frosting now.
There is somewhere in the background, though, just on the horizon, something dark.
I want to taste him again now.
And that darkness is it's so interesting. There's something about that reminds me of an Ugadale or a Corey Brecken. There's some type of peppery darkness in the background.
It does have a spiciness that might harken back to Corey for sure. Man, it got super vanilla cake on. Oh, all up front. It was smooth, creamy vanilla cake now. Ooh, I like this with water a lot. I'm still not getting the age. I'm not getting obvious Ardbeg. The finish now is a little lemon limey again, like I kind of noted before, with some of that, outside sea breeze from, a lily pond or, some kind of growth out there. Going one more time for the last taste of this one, but man, this is something different.
Yeah, water definitely didn't hurt anything about it. A little bit of cinnamon now with water. I'm just trying to pick out things that I haven't said before. A little bit of cinnamon red hot. Maybe that's a red bag.
I wouldn't go red hot, but I go cinnamon. This is gourmet cinnamon stick kind of a thing. You're right. I did mention the spice level went way up with water.
Yeah, all the flavors have a cap on, and that cap, that surrounding fortress that keeps all the flavors subdued, is just that buttery, biscuity note. And everything else is happening inside of it. Like you dug out a hole and you put all the other flavors in it.
Okay, I am now getting a much longer finish after having a couple of quick sips. And I'm starting to
note on the end of it too, just slightly.
It's classic Ardbeg cooling note. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not getting Ardbeg, and I'm getting that facet of it.
I'm getting such now a rich finish where I'm getting some real nice oak tannins still lingering right now. I'm tasting this really nice oak note. The age is coming in really well now.
I'm coming back to red velvet cake with vanilla icing on it.
Oh, up front it is straight up vanilla cake. But then the finish gives us all this nice classic peated whiskey. I'm getting the age now on the finish.
I could have 5 glasses of this, just sit down all night long and just go at this bottle until it was with you until it was a third gone.
This bottle would not last too long with me. This is really fun, really unique.
It's been a long time since we had Ardbeg's. Ardbeg's a sturdy whiskey.
It is. It's a great distillate. I just wish they would do a better job and price it a little more reasonably.
See, here's what I've always said about older Ardbegs. Like, we think when we get to 19, even the 21, 22s, and 23s, and 25s, they don't come off ultra old.
No.
So you said this is 17, like it doesn't come off as age. When have you ever had an old Ardbeg, 17 years and older, let's say, that came off old?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like the 22 has some notes of good aged notes once you get into it, but it's one of those like...
You don't instantly think 20 plus year old whiskey.
Yeah, with Ardbeg, it almost really requires you to pour a 10-year and a 19 side by side, and then you realize, okay, yeah, the 19 is way older, way richer.
Correct. And
but you have to do that almost.
Correct. Yeah. I guess that tells you it ages pretty well initially. Mm-hmm. But then it takes a really long time for it to get like super oaky notes, or maybe it has something to do with the flavors in the distillate that kind of cover that up. But yeah, I mean, that's not uncommon for Ardbegs to come off younger than what the age statement says there.
Very, very true.
Which makes you wonder, the way the 10 comes off, how young is Corey and Oogie really?
Oh, 4 to 6, man.
I'd say 6 at most. I agree with you. Anyway, those are our thoughts. Oh, do we do a whiskey score? No, we haven't done the whiskey score on this one. Whiskey score time, Dustin. You've been going.
Well, me 90.
I'm right there with you.
This is what might be my favorite dram so far tonight. It's excellent. You could talk me into a 91 on this one, but I need a little more finish. But that cake up front, I've never gotten that on a peated whiskey like this.
That was a fun whiskey. And we were teetering whether or not we were going to try it tonight.
Yeah, I know. That was a good one.
I'm right there with you,
Well
buddy.
done.
90 can't offer a lot extra. Everything about this was delicious. There was no off-putting notes. Everything about it was strong, from nose to palate to finish. Whole thing about it had a sturdy structure to it with flavors that I really enjoyed.
Confused the heck out of me that it was Ardbeg at first, but you know what?
Still not sold. I guess I still didn't see anything that was super recognizable Ardbeg, other than maybe on the finish the second time with water had a little wisp of cooling mist.
It's super peated, so that gives me a good idea that we didn't grab the wrong whiskey. That's really what I was trying to make sure, is that we didn't pull the wrong sample.
Comes off like an island. Anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular Ardbeg. Dramfool does have some nice hits.
Yeah.
I've had some Dramfools. They're a little hard to get, but I've had a couple Dramfools. The Port Charlotte. That's what I was trying to think of. There, Port Charlotte.
Well, we've talked about maybe trying to actually do a top shelf whiskey pick with Dramfool.
Yes.
And trying to maybe get some kind of exclusive offer to you guys through Patreon or something.
Mm-hmm.
We've been spinning that idea. We've talked to people involved.
Yeah, we're in contact with the people that actually can make that happen for us.
Yeah.
But again, with Dramfools, always my problem was, we have a sample set from a couple years ago that we were sent to try. We initially were talking about this thing.
Yeah.
They vary so much, from one bottling to the other. But what I do like about them is they usually give us a good steady of Islay whiskey. Mm-hmm. And, whether it's bourbon cask maturation, a decent amount of age, or a super young sherry cask one, they kind of give a full range of what they offer.
Let us know if you guys would be interested in something like that, because, obviously trying to get a hold of the whole barrel for, this channel would be a little rough, because we got 3,000 subs and,
How many people are going to buy bottles?
Yeah, that'll be tough. But let us know if there's interest. We can maybe see if we can maybe do a half barrel or something. We get half.
Something like this. Anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this one, let us know what you guys think, and do something next time. What do you wish the folks?
Happy, unique drinking.
We'll see you then.